My topic is about how the Jungian's collective unconscious is in culture's myths, specifically looking at trickster myths. First, let's get an understanding of the collective unconscious, but to do that you will need to know about the personal unconscious. The personal unconscious is the repressed and/or forgotten experiences that were at one time in your conscious mind. Now to the collective unconscious. The collective is a form of the unconscious, just like the personal unconscious. It is the deepest part of the unconscious. It is not shaped by personal experiences, but the genetically inherited, which is common to everyone. The genetically inherited are as simple as sexual instincts, motherly instincts, and life and death instincts. Now, let's take a look at this picture. This picture breaks down where the conscious and unconscious mind is in Carl Jung's archetype of the self. As you can see, the collective unconscious falls within the anima and animus of the self archetype. The anima represents every man's feminine side. The animus represents every woman's masculine side. Now let's think of the idea of the anima and animus, but as a whole, but as a culture. Each culture is going to have rules and a certain way of how you're supposed to act. Now the idea is that each culture is going to have this underlying side, just like how males have this underlying side of feminine. Let's apply this to culture's trickster myths. Most tricksters are rebels against authority and breaker of taboos. Tricksters would represent what a well-behaved citizen may secretly wish to behave like, but since there are rules, they do not act that way. Just like how men may have the feminine side, but because of society's or culture's rules or ways, they do not act upon those urges. Now let's analyze some tricksters with this idea. The first one is the Native Americans trickster, the coyote. In class, we read an excerpt from a book about Native Americans trickster, the coyote. In it, they say, the coyote and his kin represent the sheerly spontaneous in life, pure creative spark that is our birthright as human beings and that defies fixed roles or behavior. The Native American people already have that idea or understanding that tricksters is their hidden urges as human beings. Now, let's take a look at African American's trickster, Brer Rabbit. Tricksters very much dominate the African American folk tradition. In the story Brer Rabbit and the Tare Baby, they say this small line. Brer Fox hated Brer Rabbit on the account of he was always cutting capers and bossing everyone around. As you can tell, the Brer Rabbit is the dominant leader type role in the story told by African Americans. And because of their background and their main character being the dominant one, you can see the underlying urge that African Americans faced while being enslaved, which you can tell by their trickster. Here is my bibliography, and thank you for listening to my presentation.